Oh my god, when's the last time we've had meat splatter like that that wasn't in a hentai? Anyway, I'm off with my daughter. Why is he carrying her like that? I didn't realize he had sound blasts. Oh boy. Okay. Oh my god. You stole their money and I guess you know what? That is free aid. They're gonna have to fight to survive anyway. Bro stole their own money. Wow. Normally that'd be overcompensating for something, but not here. Something tells me this goddess is truly packing a 12-incher, similar to my favorite old man from Handyman Saito. For the first time, he's like, man, it feels like that same comfort. But with that type of connection comes a vulnerability that can be exploited by a church. I'll be honest, the fact that that thing can take a giant sword like that, you might as well throw it on the casting couch if it's that talented at swallowing swords. This is why you always wrap your swords, you never know what you're going into. The immortality side of the whole heroes, that only exists as long as the government wants to bring him back, right? So if he feels like he's disobeying orders too much, there's gonna come a point where they're gonna force him into a battle. He'll probably be like, well, I'll get brought back. It's not what I want. And then they just won't bring him back. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. This animation was godly. It was absolutely chock full of so many moments that should have been the highlight. The star attraction, that's the Sakuga Fest that will go viral on the internet. And yet the entirety of this fight was made of those. We should highlight that. We should praise it. I feel like I remember this show before it started up, hearing rumblings that it might have even been a complete production. That might be fake news. I have no idea, but I swear to God, this was the show that I remember seeing that for. If not, there's no denying this is a very healthy production nonetheless. But there is something that has me concerned, and that is with the end of the episode. Now, our boy seemingly was healed and not revived, which is good, because as Xylo always highlights, being brought back is not sunshine and rainbows. You lose something every time, and you never know what you're going to lose the next. And it does feel like he wasn't revived here, but rather was treated. Now, if that was up to the church, they would have just let him die and brought his bitch ass back. Because as Buddy says, he was on death's doorstep. He was very close. So I do think this man is an ally, and he's just giving a warning that the more trouble you make, the more likely it is you won't come back if you are that much of a troublemaker. But it does highlight something that's even more frightening than I realized, because last week I talked about the fact that I was concerned that someone wasn't making it. And we're going to get into that because some people still think, oh, it's fine, they can just be brought back, which is not a good thing. But there is a safety to that even if they may lose some memories or lose part of their personality, at least, yes, they can come back. Where now I'm worried it might not be unlimited. Especially if the more we, in moments of, hey, we're going to use you as a tool to fight off a wave, and we say, no, you're going to give us A, B, and C, it's going to come a point where we're going to be wounded, and they're going to say, well, you served your purpose, weapon. We'll get the next one. That's concerning, but peak fucking episode. Now, of course, you know what to do. Got this far in the video, you hit that like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell if you haven't already, and Patreon's where you're going to catch my full live reactions, also more, which does help fund the channel, and videos just like the one you're watching. So here's the thing, right? I highlighted this last week, that I was actually concerned. I mean, I was getting really concerned that new best boy was going to die. They made it kind of seem like, okay, you're showing us how scared he was to become a hero because of just the implications, and I was surprised by the number of people who are like, don't worry, he'll just be revived. The whole point of this show is Xylo in episode 2 highlight this, and I could maybe understand it if it was like one time. Every time Xylo thinks of it, he's scared of dying, because every time you come back, you do lose something. But Brandon, what about that one character? They said that he's died dozens of times and he's always fine. Yeah, I don't believe that. I'm pretty sure that's a lie. I'm pretty sure that's a way to cover up the damage that's done to someone who's been revived a dozen times, or maybe that's the one anomaly in this world. But here's the thing, right? We have a prime example in our party what happens when you come back too many times. You're just a mutt. You're an attack dog. I love this character, but do you want to see Xylo or any of them like this? No. That's not human anymore. It's just a husk of their former self, pure unfiltered rage being used as an attack dog, and that's so sad. And I think this is my favorite moment of the whole episode, and no one will agree with this because there's so much Sakuga, so much action. This moment here, it's fine for me to do it. they can bring me back to life. And what does he do? Clenches, because he says it, but he doesn't believe it. It's fine, they can bring me back to life. And it's really interesting because there's a different clench later in the episode, which is the complete opposite. Despite this being a 2D animation production, I actually feel like often with the body language, I'm watching real life actors, because in this moment, I get the sense of someone who, like, yes, I can be brought back, but I'm terrified of what I might lose when it happens, because everyone's going to be different. I don't know how many times Xylo could be brought back before he would turn into a wild attack dog, the same degree of any of them. Some might be able to do it a couple times, some might be able to do it hundreds of times. But the thing about it is death is still scary. They still feel that pain. They still feel that. And it's really weird that there's a lot of people. Now, I'm not going to lump all of you together, but there was some people who were like, no, you're wrong. Like, it's fine. Don't even worry. And then there was like, oh, you know, you're just forgetting. The people are like, oh, no, you're just forgetting. They're fine. But there's some people who are like, oh, it's fine. Just let. And it makes me feel like they would fit right in on the church side. Don't worry, guys. You died, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, don't worry about being skewered and feeling your life ripped away, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Imagine if there's actually a heaven in this world and you're approaching the pearly gates and they rip you back because they revive you. Do you know, that's probably what's fucking with their heads, is that they're continuously being endlessly looped in a death sequence that should only ever happen one time. And seeing him continuously remind us how scary it is, or hell, in the last episode when we get Bro's backstory, he was ready to fucking slit his throat right there because he's like, do anything other than make me a hero. The concept of being scared that they're not going to make it is more than just them not being brought back. It's the implications of what they might look like when they get brought back. But to be honest, yeah, by the end of the episode, it's possible the church is going to stop bringing them back because it's not always going to have, you know what? Kind of looks like could be Fern's brother from Frieren if you think about it, but I digress. That is concerning. But as for the fight, I mean, do you see the size of this fucking sword? Like, she was not overcompensating. I'm totally convinced they're all packing 12 inches for sure. Like, insane, the corruption, the way it spread. The animation for this fight was absolutely incredible. And honestly, the emotion was just chock full of it. You see every concern that everyone had. And just the pure, unfiltered excitement of everything was just so fucking badass. And honestly, very terrifying too, especially in this cave sequence when you just see an attack dog just rummaging around and they're just like, what the fuck are we witnessing? Like, imagine not seeing him, but hearing his growls, not knowing if he's going to attack you next. Like, just absolutely insanity. Just pure unfiltered insanity. This show is absolutely remarkable, and it's weird to be in a season with Jujutsu Kaisen, to be in a season with Fate, to be in a season with Frieren. Now, Frieren's not as always action-oriented, but we can all agree that it has insane action sequences when available. But I think without struggle, without competition, Sentenced to be the Hero is the action show of the season. It has the best action, the best choreographed, the best looking. And that's not saying the other shows aren't good, like they're fucking amazing too this season, but this is just in a different level. But the best part is you don't watch the show just because of the Oonga Boonga action. My favorite part is the moral complexity of what happens to these heroes and the horrifying nature of being brought back, but then removing the thought of like what happens when the church no longer deems you revivable. So your options are one of two things: become the attack dog who doesn't have their mind eventually, or not get brought back. I don't know, man. Tough pill to swallow. Your thoughts on this episode down below, though. Easily the best for sure, if you ask me. But your thoughts, drop a like, share your support, subscribe, ring that bell, and yes, Patreon for live reactions and exclusives do live over there. Like, hey, I love to give video shoutouts to those patrons because they make it all possible. All right, so today we got Dirtchurch, Nathan Jones, Sarah Linda, and we also have Kade Snowy. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.